Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about Raila Odinga and Azimio's visit or rally or town hall meeting in Murang'a today. Because that visit by Azimio brigades to Murang'a is significant, politically speaking, because of 2 or 3 reasons. Number one, Mwangi wa Iria, who was the host, joined Azimio brigades or the anti-government demonstrations just the other day. Despite that he came late, Mwangi wa Iria has already organized a successful rally or event on behalf of Raila Odinga in Murang'a County, something which Martha Karua could not do, something which Uhuru Kenyatta failed to do. Is there something special about Mwangi wa Iria? That is something which probably we will be able to get answer to. But the fact that Mwangi wa Iria joined anti-government demonstrations just last week and he has already organized this massive event tells you something. The other significance of this particular meeting is that it's coming at a time when the government of the Republic of Kenya had actually banned Raila Odinga from setting foot in Murang'a. They were very clear that Raila Odinga is unwanted in Murang'a. Raila Odinga and his brigades were actually in Murang'a. Yesterday, I did a video about why Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto were not willing to allow Raila Odinga and the team in Murang'a. The other reason why this visit is significant is because it's coming at a time when Raila Odinga has been organizing anti-government demonstrations across the country, but he has never really gone deep into the mountain the way he did today. So before we get into all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to the main issue, and I want to split this video into sections. I want to look at number 1, the defiance. Number 2, how they were received. Number 3, the messaging. And I also want to look at number 4, Uhuru Kenyatta's apology, and also the Mwangi wa Iria factor in general. Now, let us begin by looking at the defiance. Rigathi Gachagua today made a public appearance with a county commissioner, or is it regional commissioner, who declared Raila Odinga persona non grata in Murang'a. Why do you think Rigathi Gachagua and the gentleman appeared together? And of course, Raila Odinga decided that I was coming to Murang'a. And yesterday I explained that if indeed the government were going to block Raila Odinga from holding his meeting in Murang'a, they were going to play into the hands of Raila Odinga. So probably someone advised them, and they never stopped those rallies, because they've always wanted to portray an image of a violent rallies, which didn't happen. Probably they also wanted to scare people from attending this event. People attended the event. In fact, before Raila Odinga arrived, already the hall was full. People were excited. You could feel the atmosphere around the region. So the fact that Raila Odinga defied these guys and went ahead and organized this event is also significant, in that most people will now view Mount Kenya as also defiant against the government which they voted for. So that's number 1. Number 2, let us look at the reception. How was Raila Odinga and his team received in Murang'a? Massive, that is the honest truth. I tend to think that Mwangi wa Iria did well in mobilizing the crowd and the people who attended this particular event. Because compared to Raila Odinga's previous rallies, especially during campaigns, they were not like this. And sometimes I tend to think that William Ruto is normally a very smart politician. William Ruto knew so well that if he had allowed Mwangi wa Iria by any chance to be cleared by IEBC to contest for the presidency, then his equation in the mountain was going to be interfered with. Based on the mobilization we saw today, it means that Mwangi wa Iria, if given a chance, can easily mobilize the mountain, either for himself or for someone else. So Ruto did well by ensuring that Wafula Chebukati locked him out. So the mobilization was actually top-notch. It's the first time this kind of mobilization took place. In fact, it can only be compared to the time Raila Odinga went to Nakuru. So it was massive. And then let us look at the leaders who were present. I saw Mwenje, the Embakasi West Member of Parliament, the Jubilee Member of Parliament for Embakasi West, was present there. Why do you think he decided to attend? For me, I look at someone who is looking for a job to becoming the minority whip. You know, Jubilee is in the process of kicking Sabina Chege as the whip, as the deputy whip of the National Assembly. Mwenje's son, who is the member of parliament for Embakasi West, has never participated in Azimio rallies before. These anti-government demos. In fact, I think he was part of the team that visited the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, at State House at some point. But when it became clear that these people are serious about kicking Sabina Chege out, he is now available. But one thing which is also of interest to me is the presence of Rachel Shebesh. Rachel Shebesh also came. Why do you think she came? Again, politics. You know, Rachel Shebesh was the women rep for Nairobi. Then Pasaris came, took over. Again, 2 terms. But where is Pasaris today as we speak? Pasaris is kind of has moved to Kenya Kwanza. So Rachel has seen an opportunity. There is a political vacuum in Nairobi. In politics, no political vacuum should exist. So Rachel Shebesh is actually picking that. And I can bet, if elections were to be held today, and Rachel Shebesh joins ODM, she will easily become the women rep for Nairobi. So I want to advise Pasaris that bye-bye for your seat. You sit in Naenda. What do people are already plotting for it? Just like I'm seeing Ilia Dagoretti North, I'm seeing Ogeto positioning himself so well for it. So, and again, there were so many other leaders from the mountain, including former nominated members of the county assemblies, including people who contested. You know, Mwangi wa Iria really mobilized for this particular event. I just wished he had invited Maina Njenga to this event so that we could have seen how it was going to go. But I've also seen, I also saw the former governor for Laikipia, Deritu, in that meeting. So it means when it comes to mobilizing ordinary people, mobilizing the leaders was perfect. The other thing I want us to look at is the messaging. I think the people who organized this meeting today knew what they wanted to achieve. The message was so clear as day. First of all, they dwelt much on Kenya Kwanza promises. You see, if there's a place where Kenya Kwanza made promises which they were not going to meet or they are not meeting, is the mountain. Promises after promises after promises. So today's rally was used to bring all these promises out. Then they did something also. There were Mama Mbogas who spoke. They voted for Kenya Kwanza, but they feel they are disappointed. They have been neglected. I saw youths speaking. I saw elderly people speaking. So which means these guys knew what they wanted. The other item which they picked, but I don't think they've packaged it well, is the issue of one man, one vote, 1 shilling. This is something which Uhuru Kenyatta really pushed for in the last BBI, which was kicked out. But after the elections, emotions have now dried down. The reality is now there that in the mountain, you have a constituency with over 130,000 voters, while in a place there's 6,000 registered voters. Then you get the same amount of allocation for CDF in terms of bursaries. How do you go about it? So there's a strong feeling in the mountain that the issue of bursaries need to be revisited. And even other benefits, which goes by 1 man, 1 vote, 1 shilling. So it was one of the messaging. So the messaging was very clear. Then the other issue which was very clear was the issue of non-stakeholders, something which Mwangi wa Iria began. And I think the idea about the non-stakeholders is that they want to counter the dynasty narrative. You know, we had dynasty versus hustlers. So hustlers ni wale wenye hawana. Dynasties were like people who are rich. Now we are talking of non-stakeholders, people who don't have a say in government. And the government is for Ruto or Rigathi. So the rest are non-stakeholders. So the messaging, in my view, if you ask me, was perfectly crafted. Then there is this small matter of Uhuru Kenyatta's apology. Raila Odinga delivered Uhuru Kenyatta's apology because he was not present. He also delivered the same apology, I think, when they were in Kamukunji. We've never seen Uhuru Kenyatta attend some of these rallies, although he promised, while in Nyanza sometimes back, that he's fully supportive of these initiatives and that his leader is none other than Raila Odinga. But why do you think he's sending his apology? Because Uhuru Kenyatta, in my view, as a former president, just need to show signals. You know, he can make a public appearance with Raila Odinga. He can visit Raila Odinga at his home. Or he can make a public appearance with Kioni. He can just organize something so that Kioni can go and see him. The moment Kioni will see him, people like Kanini Kega, when they now go for Jubilee, they'll know that they are actually going for Uhuru Kenyatta. But his silence, for me, is not helping. So if I were Azimio organizers, I would not deliver Uhuru Kenyatta's apology. What about the absence of Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka? Why do you think Kalonzo Musyoka missed this event? Of course, he sent his apology. But for me, I also read politics. Kalonzo Musyoka probably feared that chaos were going to erupt here, that they were going to be stopped from the venue. I could be wrong, but for me, this was one of the events where Kalonzo needed really to be present. And now let us look at the last thing, which is Mwangi wa Iria factor in Raila Odinga's schemes of things in the mountain. And I want to ask you this question. If you are Raila Odinga and you have 3 people, Mwangi wa Iria, Martha Karua, and Jeremiah Kioni, who would you give who will you make the face of the mountain? Let me be very honest. Personally, I think Martha Karua is a very good politician, but she has not really delivered as per the expectation. So which means the good thing would be to try someone else. And who is this someone else? For me, that someone else is none other than Mwangi wa Iria. So Mwangi wa Iria can participate in Azimio activities from inside. Then, on the outside, someone like Maina Njega should be elevated. Maina Njega has the youths. He has that support. The only thing which Maina Njega has always lacked is a proper branding, because, you know, people really misread this gentleman. People misread him. For me, I've read a lot about Mungiki, and I think his intentions were pure. Maybe I'll do something about that in future. But Mwangi wa Iria has placed himself right in the center of Raila Odinga's campaign and politics in the larger Mount Kenya region, and is likely to fill the gaps which were left hanging by Uhuru Kenyatta and Martha Karua. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.